Alright, so hey guys, so welcome to the Warframe video, and update 24.4 is finally here and it is glorious. So let us do a quick overview, shall we? So this update introduced a bunch of new stuff. We, for example, have a new Warframe in the form of Hildren, aka Mrs. Beefcake. I mean, I know we all live together and all, but she may have taken that lifting a little bit too far. Even Rhino would probably tell her to lay the weights off for a little bit. We got a really cool Lania skin for Bimbo that kind of looks like a sentient. I like it a lot. Then we finally got the Tatsu Weep Stick, which was originally showcased with Revenant, and it's a two-handed Nikana that comes with its own stance, so it's a completely new type of melee weapon. We also got some new curly operator hairstyles, as well as the Quadrosian Dana and the Larkspur Arc Gun. Now the Larkspur has more ammo if you use it on Hildren, but it also comes with two different fire modes that you switch between by pressing the secondary fire button. The primary fire is an Ignis-esque type beam that shakes your screen a little bit, which is kind of annoying, especially in Arcwing, and the secondary fire uses a charge mechanic where you fire a big explosive ball that does a crap ton of self-damage. And finally, the two biggest things that were released with this update are Phase 1 of Melee 3.0, which is the Fluidity update, where you can switch between melee weapons and guns on the fly by just doing quick attacks or firing your guns or aiming down sights, which feels mucking amazing, I must say. And it makes the Warframe problem, for me at least, even worse, because even prior to this update, Warframe already ruined a lot of other games for me, because the combat is just not as good as it is in Warframe in those games, and this makes the combat even better, so the whole Warframe problem is probably gonna be even worse now. Also, the new Weep Stick with the Wise Razor stance is pretty damn spicy. It's a lot of fun to use. And the second big thing is the Buried DEBTS event in Orb Vallis. Now the event itself is kind of cool. It kind of encourages you to explore Orb Vallis and do some stuff in there, but the way they did this is just stupid. I imagine my first experience with this event was similar to other people's. I went to the event tab, I was like, ooh, okay, new event, we get some cool rewards, new Amalgam mod, and we even get the Optic Orvando. Alright, let's click on the event. I load into the Orb Vallis, and Yuriko says something along the lines of, there is something weird going on, go check it out. And that's it. No objective marker, and I can't see anything particularly different with the Vallis, right? So I faff around for about 10 minutes until I find one of the thermal fractures. Now at this point you have about a 50% chance to either be utterly confused by Yuriko because she will say go find a coolant arachnoid, to which you might reply bitch where, because once again there is no objective marker, or she will actually tell you something useful in the form of, well, the coolant arachnoids hang around the exploiter orb, from which you might deduce that you have to go to the Temple of Profit, which is where the exploiter orb usually faffs around. So after running around the fracture for a little bit, not knowing where to find the arachnoid, Yuriko popped in and actually gave me the useful information, from which I deduced I had to go to the Temple of Profit, and I got myself a coolant cell, which I then brought back to the fracture. Now this will trigger a defense event where you have to defend the cell while it's sealing the fracture. Once you finish the defense though, the coolant cell is still there, and Yuriko pops in and is like, yeah, there's still some coolant in the canister, go find another fracture. So I did. And then I did it again. And again, for the fourth time, while having absolutely no idea if what I'm doing is actually what I'm supposed to be doing, because there is nothing telling you that you're actually doing the right thing. It's just Yuriko telling you, yeah, just go to another one, go to another one, go to another one. And the best part of this comes right at the end. When you seal your fourth fracture, you pick up the canister, and nothing happens. To obviously let you know that you're done. At this point, I just flung my hands in the air and shouted, who made this event? Did I do it? What? Was I supposed to not get the canister? Am I supposed to get a new one? What's going on? Now once again, I think the event itself is, pretty neat. Running around, sealing the different fractures is kind of cool, but my god, the introduction is atrocious. And the first time you're gonna do it, unless you look it up on the internet of course, you're just gonna be utterly confused all the way through. And don't get me wrong, I don't want them to just slap an objective marker onto everything. It's really cool to explore Orb Vallis and find these fractures on your own, but goddamn DE, at least tell me what to do, come on now. Now this is of course not everything that was introduced with this update. We for example got client-based doors, so if the host is lagging a little bit you shouldn't have problems with doors anymore, which is awesome. We also got individual extraction from endless missions, so if you're for example doing a survival and you want to leave earlier than the other 3 people, you can leave on your own now, which is amazing. And we also got a new customization doohickey in the form of ephemera, which is like fancy footprints and fancy Warframe effects that will appear under your customization options once you craft them with a blueprint that you get from either Elite Sanctuary Onslaught the Stalker, or arbitrations. And that's pretty much all I want to talk about today. Now, most of these things will of course get their own separate video, looking at them more in depth next week, but for today, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video and it was helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.